See if this is working this time. There we go. Oh yes, we are live. Hello everyone. I've tried to get this going yesterday and it completely didn't work, so we're trying today. Can you hear me okay? Does the sound good? Is the picture good? Is everything working? How you guys doing? Type in the chat if you can. If you can. Because it's unclear to me whether this is working or not. Hold on. Hey, okay, good, yeah. There might be like a lot of delay, so it says I've got good, it says the connection's really good, so it should be smooth here, but a little bit laggy. Okay, well, hopefully it picks up. I'm going to try to walk a bit. I'm in a very, very busy area. I'm in a very busy area, but yeah, I gotta just get. I wanted to get down towards the water. Is the sound good when the picture skips, or does the audio skip as well? If the audio stays good, then I just get to a better spot maybe. Way too laggy, keeps freezing. Okay. Sounds good for you? Okay. Well, we'll walk and we'll see. It's gonna change. Average internet. I mean, I'm on my, oh, you know what? I got an idea. Hold on. No, that's not gonna work. Hold on. There we go. It's searching for Wi-Fi. Maybe that was messing things up. I don't want it to search. I wonder if I've gone over the cap on I think it might actually be that the signal is too good, funnily enough. I don't think the signal's bad. I think it's that it's too good. Hold on. I wonder if I can change the bit rate on this. Because it makes you do like a bit rate, and then it's actually exceeding the bit rate. Maximum video. Let's go 6,000. See if I can debug this on the fly. Uh-oh. Oh, all right. Let's see if it's any better at the moment. I tried to change it because I think that it's. Oh, I see people. Hold on. People saying hi to me. Right here. I'll have them come over and say hi. How's it going? That's one of you, huh? Give me one sec. We'll try it again. How's it going? Oh, there you go. Nice. How you guys doing? Nice to meet you guys. Yes, good to meet you guys.
Big fans of the show. What's up, everyone?
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, we were camped out like a couple hours earlier.
Okay.
And we saw like one of the coaches walk in.
Oh, yeah.
But like some staff. But
yep.
No
Are they coming out? I don't know if they already left to the airport. I thought they already left, but maybe they're still waiting.
Still there.
Okay.
Maybe they might have left.
I'm wondering if they left and came back already with the buses, because they're going to be back here tomorrow, or tomorrow night they'll be back. So the buses might just be waiting for nobody. I don't actually know. I guess we'll find out.
How was the training stuff this morning? All good?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Are the vibes in the squad good?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you hearing any new news? Any transfer stuff?
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it.
We'll tune in.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we have a quick
Yeah. Yeah, come do a picture.
Sorry,
no, it's all good. I might have to restart this anyway because it's not doing well for me.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Hey,
of course.
good
to meet you guys. Yes, I will be there. So I'll see you guys there. Okay. Have a good one, everybody. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move, and then we'll see if it gets any better. But I'm probably gonna have to restart it. Okay. The audio's good now. Okay, we'll see. Looks good. Is it getting better, or is it still shit? Yeah, I get very mixed messages. But I did want to talk about a few things, but we'll get to it in a minute here. If it's no good, I'll probably try again. Have I washed my hands since Amaranth? Yeah, well, I was actually had to bike back on through the rain, but we'll see. There's a lot of people here, and I'm trying not to be too disruptive videoing in public. I feel like it's kind of weird, but we'll move on. Just gotta cross these busy roads. Small Talk City. It's better now? Okay, all right. I might have moved to a better spot, so hopefully it is. Let me know if it's working a little bit better, and then we'll... yeah, I mean, this is definitely like... This is new for me. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm familiar with, and this is definitely not one of them. This is not one of them. So, all right. Yeah, I'm getting into some more open space. So it should be better. Should be better here. Should be better as we go. Lamans had a monstrous rating. It's better the last couple minutes. The signal's good? Okay. All right. If I don't have to restart, that's great. I'll be real happy with that. I'll be real happy with that. I don't know how to post this anywhere that, while I'm live on here. So, yeah, if any of you, do I have anybody from the Discord, any of the mods in here? If you can, if you can post the link in the Updates channel, if you're there, if any of the mods are here, just so that anybody in Discord can be notified. Is it awkward to talk in front of? It's so awkward. This is so uncomfortable for me. I'm moving so vastly outside of like my familiarity. I spend usually all day sitting by myself in the office, doing videos. So this is very new. It's certainly unusual. But yeah, I do want to actually have some things to talk about from this morning, from training and all of that, because yes, I had some conversations with people. As I said, there would be. I mean, remember I did say that, once the press get out and they're with the media and with everybody, that things, stories start to fly, stories start to come out, the news starts going, all of that, and there's a reason for that. It's just the simple fact that there's a whole bunch of people there, and there's a whole bunch of media, and there's a whole bunch of people, and you get conversations, and the information, goes and all that. So anyway, I do have some really solid information. Now, that isn't to say, like, when I say solid, fortunately, sometimes people will look at something and say, well, does that mean we're on the cusp of making a signing, of getting somebody, of someone coming in the door? Are we making a bid? Is that happening? And the answer is no. We're not on the cusp of signing anybody as of right now today. But that doesn't mean there isn't, important shit to speak about, and that there aren't things happening. The buildings are huge. They really are. I mean, it feels like I'm walking in the forest of giants. I mean, and then you get the Hancock building. Oh yeah, it's all the way up there. So I know, but I have solid stuff. Like, it's real solid info. It's just, we're not that close to signing someone, but it's solid stuff. So, specifically, I wanted to find out about, obviously the striker, number one. Like, what's actually the plan there? What are we trying to do? What do we want? Hold on, I gotta cross a really busy street. I already look like a crazy person talking to myself, but I'm gonna keep doing it as I cross this busy road. This is Michigan Avenue, by the way. And no, the reality is that I wanted to find out about striker. I wanted to find out about striker, and what we're actually intending to do there. Do we want one still? Because obviously you saw a lot of the, there's tons of questions in the press conference, but I had, some other conversations. And the fact of the matter is, it's fully down to the financials, and it made the press conference itself way more interesting when, knowing kind of had the conversations before the presser to talk about it and say, hey, like, what's actually, the plan here? What are we trying to do? And it all comes down to the money. And the biggest saleable asset that United have and what they're thinking with is, of course, Alejandro Garnacho, right? That's the reality of it. Now, I found Ruben Amorim's comments to be very good in respect to understanding the plan that they have, okay? Which is they need to move him for good value in order to get who they want. And who they want is fairly, they want to be able to invest significantly. They want to be able to get a good player, a good top kind of striker in. And the names that they're, looking at where it's working, and I can confirm that this is the case, they're very interested in Ollie Watkins and Nicholas Jackson. They're very interested in them. And they're very interested in the factor as well, the circumstances around it, which is that both of the clubs that they're at are interested in Alejandro Garnacho. And so, as it were, that is the strategy. That is kind of the basic plan, is to say, look, we ideally would get one of these top guys in that we really like, but it's going to require, one of, some money to go. And United have kind of the circumstance that will work. They have the fact that they're interested in both of those players is a good circumstance. The only thing that really needs to be resolved on it is the valuations, right? The valuations of each of them have to be right to make a deal work, to make it happen, to make it be successful. That's the main thing. Like they're not going to be switching the valuations around. It's almost a perfect circumstance. Each club likes Garnacho. They like the two players that they have, and how do we find a solution here? But obviously, he could be sold somewhere else if he's open to it. But we certainly have those circumstances possible. And of course, it'd be easier if he was
Where are you
sold
heading?
somewhere else. Nice. It still does my alerts when I do it this way. Where am I heading? I'm walking to the water. I'm trying to just get out of the buildings, so it's a little bit easier. Thank you for that. But yeah, the thing is that, like if we could sell to somebody else, then that works great too, because then we have the money. Then it's about leveraging which deal is better. And, I did. If they don't want, Garnacho, then it's okay still. So it's a good situation, but when you take Ruben Amorim's words as well, it becomes even better, because the fact is that the biggest limiting factor here is, can we move on Alejandro Garnacho? Can we get him gone for a good enough price too, not for pennies. If we have to sell him for 30 and they're going to want 60, 70 for their players, that doesn't work for us. The valuations have to match up a lot better. And that's really the biggest limiting or determining factor. And the next bit, which I think Ruben Amorim was heavily referencing, heavily pushing in his answer to the press conference. And that's why it's really funny, because I saw a lot of stuff, when sitting in the room reading tweets and things like that, and seeing people read Ruben Amorim's comments and take them totally differently than I took them within the context of everything and everything there. Like,
is there an event somewhere tonight?
I don't think there's an event tonight, at least not here. The club are flying to New York, so I don't think so. But a lot of people saying like, oh my God, we're talking about, they're talking about like reintegrating, and it's like everybody's backpedaling on their stance, and that wasn't it at all. That wasn't the point at all. It was a message. It was a clear message. it was a very, very clear message. It's probably going to get even noisier down here. But it was a very clear message of like, one, if you want to go, you got to get your move. You know, you got to get your move. You've got to push for it. You've got to want to play. You've got to stop turning down transfers, because if you want to go to the World Cup, if you want to play for your national team, you have to be playing football. You can't be, sitting on the bench forever. You have to play. And that's a message to Garnacho. That's a message to Anthony. That's a message to Sancho, though I doubt Sancho has any chance of getting in the World Cup. It's a message to them to say, get a move on. There's competition at United, so you could come back, but we've got a lot of competition for you here. You're not necessarily going to play at all. Like the odds that you play are extremely low even. There's more competition even than before. And so it's like, so you think you can wait it out? Fine. If that price isn't met, you can stay and you can sit on the bench. You'll be in the team. Good luck, and good luck getting to the World Cup in that case. So I thought that was a really good message from him. I thought that made a lot of sense, and was positive in general. Sorry, I'm just walking by people. I don't want to startle them, so hold on. Great meeting you as well. Good to see you guys. But I thought that message was really clear, and it's the right message, And you also have to bear in mind what he said at the beginning, which I think was missed a little bit. He said that he made it kind of clear again. It wasn't him kicking them out, but that all these people, all these players, they wanted to look at their options. Damn, my arm's tired. This is hard. They wanted to look at their options. They wanted to explore different moves. They wanted to do different things. And, so it was their choice. And so he's saying, well, he said, we're giving them the time. We're giving them the time, to find, to explore, to see what they want to see. And so he was putting it fully on them. I gotta find somewhere to sit down for a minute. There's like nowhere to sit in the city. Like, is this because of like homeless people, right? Like, is that the reason? Do they like remove things so that homeless people can't sleep? Like, is this what we do as a society? So then there's also nowhere to sit for anybody else either. Is that how this works? I don't remember there never being benches anywhere in the entire city. Crazy. That's wild. United staff coming out of the hotel now. Oh, cool. All right, so they are heading out now. I probably won't walk over there, but because we've all seen enough, and I'll catch them at the next thing. There'll be plenty of footage of that. But yeah. So I'll get to the suffer part. But look, the point was I had that. We want a top striker, a really, really good one. We want to invest in a striker. We want to do that. We need sales to do it. The guys that we're looking at, the Watkins and Jackson and all that, are certainly, still remain at the top of our list, as the players that we want to bring in. When you also add into the fact that, he spoke a lot about this Premier League proven thing as a strategy this season, getting guys who, are experienced, who've been there, who've done that, who've been, productive, who can perform at that level. It's really clear that this is what's wanted. So, we still want those guys. Definitely, they're certainly in the plans in general overall. So, but we need to move on, probably Garnacho, or multiple others in order to make that happen. But that is what they want. They don't necessarily want to settle. On a cheaper striker or something like that. Ruben Amorim wants to buy good players that are going to have a really good impact. And and so there was that. I'll talk about the keeper thing, and then I'm going to talk about.
Live 5 minutes from where you are
5 minutes
right
from
now.
me right now. Nice. I'll talk about the keeper thing. United are definitely looking at keepers. They've had conversations. I would suggest with both Emi Martinez and his camp and Lamens, among others, in search for a new keeper. They're definitely keeping their eyes on keepers. However, there isn't anything really like. The problem is there's a permanent deal. The reason they made that Emi Martinez loan deal is because they have too many keepers. Okay, that's the view at the moment. Too many keepers. Between Heaton, Altai, and Onana, and Andre is not going to leave this summer. Obviously, Heaton is staying as well. They just have too many keepers. And, they need, very likely, of course, it's going to be by India, as it kind of was all along, more plausible to be leaving. But they need some interest in him. They haven't got anything lined up for a move for him yet. And so it's hard to make a permanent move to add a third, well, really fourth keeper to the books. Maybe you could even call it, even at third, it's too much for someone, senior. But they have to move somebody more permanently in order to do a permanent deal. So that's kind of the issue there. So that's kind of I would suggest the reason why they were looking at the the Emi loan in particular is because of that specifically. They need a keeper. They can't just buy another keeper and have all these keepers who are going to be here for years, where Martinez is. And it's really not about Heaton, because Heaton's just, we would kind of need a Heaton anyway, but they don't want to have guys on 3-4 years left on their contracts plus 5 and have another. That doesn't mean they're not going to do it. That doesn't mean they're not going to do it. It doesn't mean they're not going to get a keeper done. It just means that they need. I might lose signal. Hold on. I'm in a bad spot. Let me move. It just means that they've got to they've got to do something. They've got to get space. They've got to they've got to make space in the team. So that's the plan, okay? That is the plan. But, and I think that means that they would, in an ideal world, get someone like Lamens. But the reason they look at something temporary like Emi is because there's no certainty that they can move on another keeper. But what they don't want to do is completely bloat the squad again, to where it ends up exactly where it was before. With too many players, too much on wages, too much staff, too much everything. You know what I mean? That's what they don't want to happen again. So they're going to avoid that. So I don't think they'll just go and get a keeper, kind of just because, as well. They need something to happen on that. How's it going, by the way? Is it working okay? Since I moved, sorry, it gets really loud and I can't hear, but I have this mic, so I assume you guys can hear. How's it working though? Is it working since I've moved? Has the signal been better? Has it not been laggy? Has the sound been good? We're in another universe of my comfort here, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, cool. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys all very much for contributing and helping and watching and all of that, because this is what has made, days like today
Unlikely,
possible.
but an
really
Isaac
cool.
deal?
No, Isaac is not going to happen, guys. Put it out of your head. Put it out of your head. Yes, so let's address the suffer comment here, right? The suffer comment. the no the Heaton contract is really simple. It's because they want to have a third keeper in kind of no matter what. All right. They want to have a third keeper in kind of no matter what. They always need to have that little backup keeper in, okay? And that wasn't going to be Lamens. Like, he's on a 1-year deal. It's a short-term thing. It's all of that. So there's nothing. The Heaton thing is ineffectual. Like, they wouldn't get Onana, Bayindir, and Lamens anyway, because that's 3 on long-term permanent deals. That's not what they're intending to do. And they've got these young keepers still technically on the books. So yes, and he counts towards homegrown, where we've lost a lot of people who would qualify for that. So I think that's part of the reason why as well. You know, we need to keep those numbers up. But yeah, sorry, it's obviously a lot harder to read the chat here. No, and look, again, it's kind of like when you take both the striker situation and the goalkeeper situation, what's going on doesn't mean that they're not going to get anybody in for these just because they're not there yet, just because they are kind of sell to buy, which they are. It means they've got, you know, to get the permanent deals of the players that they want, you know, the ideal players, which is what they're going for. You know, Ruben talked about like the you know, not being careful about the signings. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really important to bear in mind. It's about being careful about them. What he's talking about there is probably like, you know, a little bit of like Sir Jim's words of like walk to the right solution. You know what I mean? Rather than run to the wrong one. It's a similar concept. They want to get the right people in place, no matter, you know, and they're willing to like, it's just the view of don't rush, to get the wrong person, get the right person in, even if it takes more time, even if you can't get it all done in one go. You know, like I said the other day, I spoke to a sporting fan on the street here as well, and he was talking about Ruben, how he gets in the players' heads, all of that, and how he will improve on, you know, everything. And they missed on Europe in the first year, so they couldn't buy a ton of players and things like that, and he had to improve it all. And that's kind of the point on the suffering comment as well, you know, because the idea is when he's saying we're going to suffer again and people are throwing an absolute fit about it, the context of all of that is pretty simple. He's talking about how, you know, as a club, as a team, they have to go through the difficulties together. They have to work together. They have to fight for each other. They have to, you know, get through the challenges. You know, like Cunha said it really well too when he said like the pressure is not pressure here, it's a privilege. And it's about building the mental toughness, the mental strength to deal with where we are and fight through that. That's what suffering means. It doesn't mean we're going to suffer because we're going to watch shit football for the rest of the year or something like that. And that's what he's saying. Not at all. Couldn't be more different to that. He's really just saying, you know, we're going to have to push through, you know, the mental barriers that we have, you know, as a team, the difficulties, all of that to get where we want to be. So, you know, it's not like we're going to play terrible football. You know, he uses the word suffer for.
Are you going to NY for the game?
To be quite honest. Am I going to New York for the game? Yes, I will be flying out like 5 a.m. tomorrow as well. So if you're over in New York, I'll probably go to MetLife a bit early. I'll be able to, I'll be able to walk around there and get there ahead of time. So yes, and then I'll be at that game and I'll get some more, you know, coverage and things like that as well. You're talking about why didn't they sell Bruno? Well, when they say they have the money, they can get money elsewhere. I mean, you have to realize, like, you have to replace Bruno. So, like, if
this
they sold
is for
Bruno
your beer
for 100,
fund, not the Watkins fund. Have one on me.
This is
Thanks
your beer
for the
fund, not the
vids.
Watkins fund. Have this one on me. Thank you very much, man. Sorry, I almost missed that shenanigans, but thank you very much. Really appreciate you. They have the money, though. yeah, we could have had Watkins, but then we wouldn't have Bruno. So like you have to replace that player when he goes, and you could argue that we could, but I think that becomes a matter of preference in that respect. We do have the money to be raised elsewhere. That's what he said. We can get the money from elsewhere. Realize he also meant players. We've got Mbumo, we've got Cunha. If we sell other players, then we do have the money. Wrong button. There we go. We do have the money, to from elsewhere to get more players coming in. So it's not like it wasn't a true statement. It's not like it wasn't accurate. It's just that, it may not be exactly what what people think. You know what I mean? But I think that's fine. I think that's fine as well. So yeah, I'm not. If we can sell Garnacho, we can do all of that. Then we keep Bruno, and we have other players, sold, and we can still get that striker, still get the other players that we need coming in. So I'm not particularly worried about that. I think I don't know what. I guess I get confused, like what people think when someone says we can have the money without Bruno. Like that doesn't mean we could have endless money. Obviously, I mean 130 million in spend. You'd still look at our net spends the last like 5-6 summers. Like outside of panicking and buying Anthony and Casemiro, that's pretty normal. That's a pretty normal amount of spending. I really wouldn't worry about that at all. So yeah, that's not an issue to me. I think I think that's all fine. I think it's just being overblown, this whole thing about the money, and because they've spent money, they have the money, they've spent the money, they've used the money, they've go back. The cherry handbag suits me. Should I get this one? I need a lot of donations. I bet that's like what, $2,500, maybe more, 5,000, 6,000. I have no idea what Louis Vuitton costs. So I'm a fairly frugal person. So someone's gonna have to price check that for me. But no, I mean, we've been turned down by a few people, but it's still the point of like, he made again the point in the press conference about players who really want to join United being important. Okay, so like we want players who wanted to come to United, who have the right character. This is what he's talking about when he says like suffer. Get people who want the challenge, get people who want the difficulty, get people who want to work through where United is at, not come into a team that's already finished, already set, already done, but to get through that. And so yeah, we've missed out on some. Our best targets didn't want to come to us. Gyökeres, Delap. Delap I think is the best value for money, maybe. Gyökeres the best player. They didn't want to join us, but so what? The other guys did, and they're willing to fight, and they're willing to essentially suffer, right? And so I think that was the point that was in there. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, my chat is freaking out. There we go. Gyökeres gave up on winning trophies. Yeah. Would you say Lamens? Yeah, I don't think Lamens is going anywhere, to be honest. Like, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. But look, there's a month left, and a little over a month left in the window. The reality is that you take like some of the things earlier, willing to start the season without a goalkeeper, stuff like that, or a striker, stuff like that. Obviously, I would say the comments, things like that are I think they're true, but they're also putting pressure. Like they're like, yeah, you guys get your damn move. Are you trying? Yeah, when I put my fingers on the screen, are you trying to mess with it? It's funny. But no, I think it's all fair within kind of the context of everything. The other thing that was really interesting that I think is certainly worth mentioning is, you look at the coordinated effort this year, and I feel that there is a serious alignment from top to bottom, which I think is really important. I think that last season you talk about Ashworth Wilcox, Omar just in the building. The Ineos guy's still there. Like Brailsford and such. And then you have Ten Hag, and all these guys have their opinions, have their thoughts, have their, quotes, have all that shit, all the things that they want. And it makes for a mess where you've got Ashworth with his philosophy, you've got Wilcox with his philosophy, you've got Ten Hag with his philosophy. None of it's aligned. So we buy 5-6 players, and I actually like the players. I think we bought good players last year in general. But we certainly didn't buy players who were like maybe game changers at the moment. Obviously Lenny Oro, yes, but not even originally. It took him months to get going. So the alignment is very different, and that's also making it so the whole mood is better. And it's hard to describe how much of an impact these things have when you've got a whole hierarchy that's still too messy versus one that is all running the same direction, pushing the same direction. They all want the same thing. They all have the same ideas, all of that. So I think that's pretty meaningful. Oh my God. All right. My battery is at 2%. So hang on. I'm going to have to end it here. I might pick up and do another video from my computer in a few minutes. I didn't realize my phone was about to die. So thank you guys for hanging out. This was a good tester of a live. We'll do this one tomorrow at the same time around now from MetLife Stadium. I'll do a live like this. I'll do a vlog as well. I'll probably have a stand, and I'll just be in the press area. Okay. So thank you guys for watching this one. Thanks for hanging out today. I appreciate you all. And I'll see you later. My phone's going to die any second, so I got to end it or the stream will go on forever. Okay. Have a good one, everyone. See you later.